What is up, everyone? It's March J8 here, bringing you guys the news in a flash, and let's get right into it. First, let's talk about Marilyn Manson, who actually collapsed during a show on Saturday. His band was finishing up their fourth song of the night, Sweet Dreams, on their tour, the Twins of Evil tour in Houston, when Manson actually collapsed on some monitors as he was trying to walk off stage. Houston Chronicle reported that before the show even started, the band's tour manager actually had photographers leave the pit because Manson was apparently feeling very ill, and that in his current condition, he didn't want any photos taken of him. During the show, there was also these large intervals in between songs where the stage was actually blacked out, and before Manson even collapsed, you can actually see him in a video struggling to stay on his feet while he's using the microphone stand to maintain his balance. Now, fans have definitely been voicing their concern over Manson's health, as this has actually been the second time that Manson has been forced to cancel a date on the Twins of Evil tour, with the first one actually being back in Toronto last month, when, again, he canceled the tour due to feeling particularly ill. As always, I do hope that he gets better and is able to get back out there and keep doing what he loves. Now, for this next story, this actually happened last week, and I didn't get a chance to cover it, but it's definitely something important, and I definitely think it's worth talking about. So, last week, reports came in that Janus, the founder of the band Huntress, sadly passed away. The news was broken by former bandmate Casey Wood, who posted a message saying, "I'm in shock and can't stop crying. My ex-best friend, singer, has left the world. She was the biggest sweetheart, and I hope that her legacy lives on as it should. You were supposed to be on your way back here, Janus. I love you. I miss you. My door is still open for you always. Rest in peace, my sister." Now, at the time, details were very vague and not many people knew what was going on, but there's definitely concern around the community because Janus was only 43 years old, and it is well known that Janus has battled mental illness throughout her life, being diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and then later in life being diagnosed with schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder, which was all revealed in a 2015 interview with Psychology Today, which you guys can check out below. I'll leave a link for that. And while details are still pretty vague as of now, and most likely will continue to be moving forward, the band has come forward with a statement saying that Janus did in fact end her own life. And this is the statement. "It is with crushed hearts that we announce that Janus, frontwoman for the California heavy metal band Huntress, passed away on Tuesday, August 14th. A longtime sufferer of mental illness, she took her own life outside of Portland, Oregon. Janus spoke publicly about these challenges in hopes of guiding others to address and overcome their mental illness. Janus was a truly special creative, involved with numerous musical projects, including her role as vocalist for a female metal/hard rock cover band, the Starbreakers and Chelsea Girls. In addition, Janus was co-composer and creator of an upcoming rock opera with Trans-Siberian Orchestra Angus Clark, and had a decade-long career as NYC DJ Penelope Tuesday. Her musical career began in childhood. Beyond her accomplishments in the music world and her advocacy for mental health issues, she was a beautiful person, passionate about her family, animal rescue, and the world of natural medicine. She will be missed more than she could ever known. If you or someone you know might be at risk of suicide, call 1-800-273-8255 to reach the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It provides free and confidential support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for people in suicidal crisis, or distress. That last part I really want to emphasize. Once again, that phone number is 1-800-273-8255, and that is for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It is free, it is confidential, and it supports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for anybody in suicidal crisis or distress, and I plead to anybody to go call them if help is needed. Now, at this point, a public memorial has been announced and is set for Friday, August 24th. The memorial will take place at the Rainbow Bar Grill in West Hollywood, California, and it is open to friends, family, and all walks of life, according to the poster put out by the band. And honestly, I do wish that there was some magic word to say to people to bring them away from the edge. You know, some way to free them of the darkness that clouds their mind and then the spiral that that depression just traps people in. I don't think any of us could know the war that was going inside of her or the pain that it was causing. And all I know is that this stuff is never easy to talk about, and it's incredibly sad when we lose somebody at such a young age. Now, I'll leave a bunch of links down below if you guys are interested and you want to learn more. Be sure to check those out. And let's move on to some better news, guys. Let's put on some cheer. Okay, we got the announcement that we are getting 4 new colored official PlayStation 4 controllers. They are Berry Blue, Sunset Orange, Blue Camo, and Copper. They all look pretty awesome, but none of them look as awesome as Razer's new PS4 controller, the Razer Raiju Ultimate. Okay, 1, screw you, Razer. I've only been waiting for this damn thing for so long that I actually went out and just bought the original Raiju. And 2, it looks so awesome. Okay, so the Ultimate now has these interchangeable thumbsticks that now have the concave version to them instead of the dome that came with the original Raiju, which, you know, that's a plus. I actually enjoy that. And they also now have a choice between tilting or individual D-pad, which is nice. It has a quick control panel for instant access to important functions and a secure button lock to avoid unintended key presses. There is now a new advanced app configuration, which makes customizing the controller layout a lot easier and a lot quicker. And it also allows you to customize the sensitivity of the clutch levers and the intensity of the rumble motors. I actually love this feature because one of my least favorite features on the original Raiju is the fact that you have to manually remap the controller layout to the way that you want to instead of it being able to be programmed through software. And there's only 2 slots for it, 2 custom slots, which means if you want to play a certain game using a controller, but it has different controls than the last game that you played, that the controller was set up for, then you have to remap the controller before you play it, or you have to switch back to a traditional PlayStation 4 controller. Hopefully that isn't the case here. One of the best new features of the Razer Raiju Ultimate is the fact that it's getting both Bluetooth and wired connection. Don't get me wrong, I love the wired connection for the original Raiju, but damn is it a pain in the ass. Sometimes it got wound up and stuff, and sometimes I actually forgot that it's not wireless, so I would get up to go grab something only to yank the cord out of the PlayStation. That was never any fun, especially when you're talking about a $150 controller. A couple of other new features includes the Mecha tactile action buttons and the Razer Chrome for the Ultimate Edition. And unfortunately, even though they introduced this new awesome controller on their YouTube channel, on their main YouTube channel, I should say, it does look like it's only going to be sold in the EU. Even though Razer's headquarters is in California, which makes no sense whatsoever, and it probably means if I want to buy one, I'm actually going to have to pay an increased price to pay off the import fee. Wonderful. It costs 200 euros, so that probably equals out to, I think, $230 if my conversion is correct. Plus, then if you add on the import fee, you're probably looking at a controller that's going to run you around $250. Now, for a high-end PlayStation 4 controller, that's actually pretty steep for some people, especially when you look at the new Nacon Revolution Pro Controller V2, which only costs around $150, or even the original Raiju, which you can get for $150. The controller looks amazing. I just don't know if I'm willing to part ways with $250 just to have one. If you guys are interested in it, I will leave the links down below for you guys to check out. Moving on, Life is Strange 2 got a brand new trailer that finally shows us who the story will be featuring around, and it's actually the neighbors from the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit standalone game that we got, I think, last month. So that's pretty cool. Shadow of the Tomb Raider got a brand new trailer that just makes the game look absolutely amazing. It was introduced at the NVIDIA convention where they showed off their new graphics card, so of course it just looks like total eye candy in terms of graphics. From Software dropped their new trailer for their new title, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, along with a release date for it as March 22nd, 2019. Check that out below. Along with that, if you guys are ready to learn what it means to hate You Died Again after seeing it 10,000 times, then From Software has you covered because they just announced they will be releasing Dark Souls Trilogy for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. With this 3-disc set, you'll be getting Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, and Dark Souls 3, The Fire Fate, which includes the base games and all additional DLC for each of the titles. This is set to come out on October 19th through, again, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and the price tag is set at $79.99. Yeah, not too thrilled about that price tag, seeing as this is a compilation, but hey, you do get 3 amazing games with a massive amount of content to them, so there is that. Now, for Say Anything fans out there, I have good news and I have bad news. Good news is that we're getting a new album called Oliver Appropriate, with no release date released for it yet, but there have been details released around it, like the fact that this album is actually going to be a sequel to It's a Real Boy, and it will follow the character Oliver 14 years after the first album took place. The first single off the album, Daze, has been released as well, which can be found below. Now, the bad news is that Max Bemis has released a 10-page document titled Goodbye Summation, which not only details the new themes and concepts for this album, but also pretty much says that it's going to be the end of Say Anything. Yeah, it looks like Say Anything is actually coming to an end, and I'm actually pretty sad about that because Say Anything is a band that I discovered back in 2012, so it was pretty late in the game. The album I discovered was Anarchy, My Dear, right alongside with Saves the Day. I actually think it was Saves the Day that kind of introduced me to Say Anything. Either way around, I really dug the music, and I have been pretty much listening to anything new that they put out ever since. So I'm bummed that they're calling it quits. But if you guys want to check out the document or the album announcement, I will leave some links down below for you. Bayside has announced they are heading on a new acoustic tour with support from Golds. It's actually a rather large tour, and it's kicking off in late November, and it's running all the way into early February 2019. So yeah, there are a ton of dates for this. Check those out below. Parkway Drive has announced the tour support for their upcoming tour, Reverence, which kicks off at the end of this month. Anyways, support for their EU tour is coming from Killswitch Engage and Thy Art is Murder. And for their US tour, we got August Burns Red, The Devil Wears Prada, and Polaris. Both of those are incredible lineups, and as soon as I saw them, I immediately bought my ticket. Like Moths to Flame has announced they're heading on a new tour that kicks off in November and runs all the way into December. Support for that tour is coming from Ocean's 8 Alaska, Phineas, and Novelist. Check out the dates for that down below. Trans-Siberian Orchestra has announced their 2018 winter tour. Dates for that will be below. Now it's time for some new music. Bring Me the Horizon has released their new song, Mantra. I actually listened to it a couple of times, and honestly, I'm not really sure whether I really like it or it's just alright. I mean, it's interesting, and it definitely has potential to it. I just haven't decided whether I like it or not. Check it out below and let me know what you guys think about it. Disturbed has announced their 7th studio album called Evolution, which is set to be released on October 19th. And they have also put out a new single titled Are You Ready with a new music video for it. What's interesting is that this is actually the first album that it doesn't include their mascot, the guy on the album artwork, since the release of their 3rd studio album, 10,000 Fists. Against the Currents has announced their sophomore album titled Past Lives, and it is set to be released on September 28th through Fueled by Raymond. Check out the album artwork and the details for it down below. Along with this new album release, we also got a new song from the band called Personal, along with a new music video for their song Almost Forgot. Check out both of those down below. Beartooth has released their new song, You Never Know. The 1975 has dropped their new song called Two Times. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good song, weird title. Check it out if you guys are interested. The story so far has released not one, but 2 new songs. The first one being Upside Down, and the second one being Take Me As You Please. Check out both of those down below. Warbringer has released their awesome new song, Power Unsurpassed. Once Human, a band that features former Machine Head guitarist Logan Matter, has released a cover of Machine Head's David In. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty awesome song. Alright, that's it for today, guys. Thank you all for joining me for this episode. I will see you all in the next one. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you want to support the channel, and as always, until the next one, Mars out.